Yes guys, welcome back to another video on the channel, and today welcome to game week 5 of the Premier League predictions, and today it is the first midweek fixtures of the season. But yeah, anyway, make sure to smash a like, subscribe, and let's get into the video. Okay then, so the first game is a London derby from Selhurst Park. It is Crystal Palace against Brentford. Now, to be honest, I think this could be quite an interesting game in my opinion. To be honest, Palace and Brentford are two decent teams. Brentford, obviously, their last game, a 1-1 draw at home against Everton. Crystal Palace, obviously, losing 4-2 away at Manchester City. But to be fair play to Palace, they were 2-0 up. Obviously, they did lose, unfortunately. To be fair, both Palace and Brentford have got a few tough games coming up. Palace have got to go to Newcastle, then they've got Man United, then they've got Brighton, then they've got Chelsea, and then they've got Leeds. And then looking at Brentford, they've got Palace tonight, but obviously then they've got Leeds on Saturday. So if both teams have got some tough games coming up, especially Palace, with the likes of Brighton and yeah. I think this will be a good game. Palace, their attack looks good. So does Brentford. But yeah, anyway, prediction. I'm going to say a draw. I'm going to sit on the fence and go Crystal Palace 2, Brentford 2. I'm going to go 2-2. Okay, and the next game comes from Craven Cottage. And again, I think this will be a decent game. Fulham against Brighton from Craven Cottage. Now, I'm going live with Cody tonight on Twitch, and I'm going to be watching this game. To be honest, I think this will be a good game, to be honest. Fulham, I know they did lose to Arsenal on the weekend, but Fulham did alright. They took the lead, and obviously then they unfortunately lost. But, looking at Fulham, tough games coming up. Brighton tonight, Tottenham on Saturday, Chelsea on the 10th, Forest on the 16th. Then they've got Newcastle on the 1st of October. So they've got some tough games, Fulham. Brighton, not so really. They've got a few easy games against Leicester and Bournemouth. And then tough games coming up against Palace, Liverpool, Tottenham, Brentford, and that. But yeah, I think this will be a good game. Fulham, last time they played at home, they won 3-2 against Brentford. Well, Fulham have actually lost the last two games. So they lost to Crawley in the Carabao Cup, and then they lost to Arsenal on the weekend. Looking at Brighton though, they won 1-0 against Leeds. I watched a bit of the game. I think Brighton did really well against Leeds. I don't think Leeds were that good, but Brighton had chance after chance after chance, and they did really well, to be honest. And to be honest, I think Brighton are going to win this game. I think Fulham will do well, but I think Brighton are going to win. My prediction is Fulham 1, Brighton 2. 2-1 to Brighton. Okay, then, and the next game comes from St Mary's. It is Southampton against Chelsea. Now, Southampton did lose to Manchester United on the weekend. Chelsea just beating Leicester 2-1 at the I'm joking, at the Bridge. But yeah, to be honest, it's going to be a tough game for Southampton. But I did watch, obviously, the Southampton game against Manchester United. And even though they lost, they created some really good chances. And I was really impressed with Arna Bella-Kotchup, who's a new signing from Bochum, I think. He's a new signing from Bochum. I think he did really well. I think Southampton did decent. They created some really good chances. To be honest, I think they really should have got a point out of that game. Chelsea, though, they got Conor Gallagher got sent off on the weekend, but they managed to win 2-1 with 10 men. So fair play. But Chelsea, I think they'll go to Southampton tonight and win. Southampton, it's just Southampton, isn't it? But yeah, anyway, prediction, I'm going to say 3-0 Chelsea. Okay, next game is Leeds against Everton from Ellen Road. It's Leeds, who have started the season brilliantly, against Everton, who are in the bottom 3 at the moment. And to be honest, Everton are drawing against Brentford on the weekend. It's probably a good result. Brentford, they've started okay, I would say, but yeah, Everton, I think they're interested in this guy from Shakhtar Donetsk or something. And also they've signed Neil Maupay as well. But to be honest, I think that's an awful signing. I think you need with Calvert-Lewin out. Everton need a goal scorer. Neil Maupay is not a goal scorer. It's just an awful signing. It's really poor business there by Everton, in my opinion. Obviously, I watched Leeds on the weekend, and I've got a mate who supports Leeds called Ollie. Ollie on Toys' YouTube, fantastic YouTuber, go subscribe. And he said, I was on my Instagram, we were on a group chat, and he said Leeds were absolutely awful on the weekend. And to be honest, I probably would agree. I think they were terrible, to be honest, Leeds. There was this one chance, I think it was between Rodrigo and Aronson. Rodrigo got the ball. He tried to play it to Aronson, and Aronson just didn't move. And Rodrigo was like, that did. But to be honest, Ellen Road, special place. And to be honest, I think Leeds will bounce back with a win. Leeds 2, Everton 0, 2-0 to Leeds. So yeah. Anyway, we now move on to Wednesday's games. And the first game is Bournemouth against Wolves. Now today we saw the first sacking of the season in the Premier League. Scott Parker has been sacked by Bournemouth. Now apparently, I think there's a few reasons why he got sacked. Apparently what he said in his post-match interview after the game against Liverpool, apparently he said Bournemouth were poor and absolutely terrible. Apparently that's one of the reasons why he got sacked. Another reason, apparently, he was ignoring stuff said by the board. And I think that's the only two reasons I know, apparently. So, one, apparently, he said awful things about in the post-match interview against Liverpool and ignoring stuff from the board. But yeah, Bournemouth, their manager, I think it's going to be Gary O'Neill for the time being, whilst they find a new manager. And to be honest, without Parker, they're probably going to do awful. So I'm going to get straight into it. I think it'll be a win for Wolves. Bournemouth 0, Wolves 2. 2-0 Wolves. Okay, and then the next game comes from the Emirates Stadium. It's high-flying Arsenal against a struggling Aston Villa. And to be honest, what is going wrong at Aston Villa at the minute? A load of Villa fans are not happy at all. They all want Gerrard out. My mate Callum, a few YouTubers I know, Villa on Tour, AVFC vlogger, a friend of mine called Bailey, and I don't know what's really going on with Villa at the minute. That the football, the fans are just, it's just a very toxic atmosphere around Villa Park and around Aston Villa at the minute. The fans aren't happy with the football that's being played, and they just want Steven Gerrard to walk. To be honest, the Villa fans aren't happy at all, and Villa, I feel really bad for them. They've got Arsenal tomorrow, and then they have to play Man City on Saturday. Man, they're probably going to be honest, Villa are probably going to get battered. Arsenal, though, being a Spurs fan, I hate to say it, but they actually look really good. They haven't lost a game yet. They are unbeaten. They've won every single pre-season game, and they've won 4 out of 4 Premier League games. Who is going to stop this Arsenal team? Who is going to stop them? They are too good. Seriously, man, they are too good at the minute. Honestly, too good. Too good. And that's why I'm going to go with a big scoreline of Arsenal 4, Aston Villa 0. Villa are just absolutely crap at the minute. They all want Gerrard out. And to be honest, I think Arsenal are just going to walk through Villa. 4-0 Arsenal. Okay, then, and the next game comes from the Etihad Stadium. It is Manchester City against Nottingham Forest. Now, I can't even remember the last time City even played Forest. But City, to be honest, I don't really know what's going wrong at City at the minute. They knew, like in the last few games against Newcastle and Crystal Palace, they went behind. I don't know what, but just City, they're giving goals away at the minute, and they've got the Champions League and they got Sevilla away first game. To be honest, I won't be surprised if Sevilla win, because City, they're just giving goals away. The game against Newcastle, they gave away 3 goals, and against Crystal Palace, I don't really know what's going on, to be honest. But looking at those games against Newcastle and Crystal Palace, they came back. Against Newcastle they drew, against Crystal Palace they won. But to be honest, I think City have to win this game. They're playing Forest. Forest, I think they did really well against us on the weekend. They were all over us, in my opinion. And I think if they play like that, they should maybe get something against the champions. But to be honest, I think City will probably win. So prediction, I'm going to say City 3, Forest 1, 3-1 to Manchester City. Okay, and then the next game, it is another London derby. It's my club Tottenham as we take on the scummy bubble bastards. We take on West Ham. But yeah, to be honest, West Ham, they are 16th in the league. They were bottom, but you know they got a big win away at Villa. And yeah, to be honest, that was West Ham's first win of the season. And it was how many? About 5 games into the season. 4 games into the season. Yeah, sorry, it's just a van outside, I think. But to be honest, well, today we've actually signed Christian Romero on a permanent from Atalanta, and man, I am buzzing. Romero last season, I know he was on loan. He was a beast, absolute beast. He was Christian Romero. And yeah, and to be honest, I'm just delighted that we've got it on a permanent now from Atalanta. But yeah, to be honest, there probably will be a few changes. You know, we've got some very busy fixtures coming up. Obviously, we've got West Ham tomorrow, Fulham on Saturday, Marseille on the 7th, then we've got Man City. Then 3 days later, we have to go to Sporting. And then a few days later, we got Leicester. Then a few days later, we've got Arsenal. Then a few days later, we've got Frankfurt. Oh, there's just too many fixtures. There's just too many bloody fixtures coming up. But yeah, to be honest, West Ham, it's the same with them, to be honest. They've got a lot of fixtures coming up. You know, they're in the Conference League. They've got fixtures coming up as well. But, you know, they've got like FCSB, Silkeborg. And then, yeah, they'll probably beat those teams, West Ham. But yeah, to be honest, I think we will win. I don't think we were great on the weekend. We got dominated by Forest. West Ham, apparently they didn't really do that great. They just got a lucky goal, apparently. But I think we're going to go to London Stadium and win 3-0. 3-0 Spurs. I think we're going to get the W. Anyway, the final game on Wednesday is Liverpool against Newcastle from Anfield. And yeah, I think this will be an alright game. You know, Liverpool absolutely slapped Bournemouth 9-0. But yeah, I've just got to clap Liverpool. Winning 9-0 against Bournemouth. I know it's Bournemouth, but still, 9-0. And the funny thing is, loads of people triple captain Salah on FPL. And how did Salah didn't even get one contribution, I don't think. I don't think Salah got one contribution. You know, Salah didn't get one contribution out of 9 goals. Salah didn't get one contribution. Oh, that's quite funny. But to be honest, Liverpool, it'll be a harder game against Newcastle. Newcastle are a good team. 1-1 draw against Wolves. Samaxman in the 90th minute. Oh, Samaxman, what a goal it was, by the way. If you go on Sky Sports highlights, brilliant goal it was from Gucci Man. But yeah, Newcastle will be a tough game for them. Going to Liverpool, you know, just managing to get a point at Wolves. But yeah, prediction, I'm going to say 3-1 Liverpool. And yeah, and to be honest, I'm happy because Nunes is back on Saturday. And my FPL attack is mad. Haaland, Kane and Nunes, mad. But yeah, anyway, the last game of game week 5 is Leicester against Manchester United. And to be honest, like I said about Villa, what is going on at Leicester City, ladies and gents? The fans are absolutely fuming. They're getting booed. The Leicester, they are not happy at the minute. They are not a happy club at all. And even though they beat Stockport County, even though Leicester beat Stockport County on penalties, they still got booed. I just don't know what's going on at Leicester. You know, Leicester have got 1 point from 4 games. It's just not good enough. 1 point out of how many? 1 point out of the potential 12. It's not good enough, to be honest. It's just not good enough for Leicester. You know, Man United, today they've just announced like in the last few minutes, they've just announced Anthony. And to be honest, Anthony, great player he is. I'm sorry, but Leicester, they just look absolutely appalling. They don't look good at all. And to be honest, fans want Rodgers to walk. It probably will happen soon. I don't know what's going on at Leicester. But yeah, prediction, 2-0 Manchester United. And yeah, I think if I think Anthony could score if he's involved. But yeah. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Also, there's going to be loads of videos coming up, you know, because of Spurs and stuff. You know, we've got Champions League group stage predictions, a transfer video. First transfer video in 3 bloody weeks. I really do apologise about that. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to end this video now because my neighbours are wandering around and I'm like, but yeah, well, I'm not really. But yeah, anyway, see you next time. And yeah, bye.